Let's go. I don't know what you're going through, but we stopped by to tell you that what's in front of you is bigger than what's behind you. Your destiny, your promise, your future. You might as well shout before you get it, because God sent me here to tell you that what he has for you is gonna be big.
I believe
that it's my season.
that it's my season.
You ought to declare that over your own life. Say, I believe
I believe
that it's my time.
that it's my time.
It's my time.
It's my time.
And I can feel it.
I can feel it.
Say, breakthroughs in the room.
Breakthroughs in the room.
It's yours if you want it. Anticipating. God's getting ready to move.
God's getting ready to move.
Listen, you ought to declare this over your own life. Say it.
For I know
God,
my God
he's working
is
a miracle just for me.
Just for me.
And it's gonna be.
And it's gonna be big.
Hey! Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm excited about my future. Why? It's gonna be big, yeah.
And it's gonna be big.
I'm running into destiny, shouting into my promise. Why? God's gonna
open the windows of heaven.
pour.
Pour me out a blessing.
I won't have
Won't
room.
be room to contain it.
Can't even try to explain it.
But it's gonna be big.
God is gonna blow your mind.
God is about to blow my mind.
Yeah. God's gonna
Open the windows of heaven.
pour.
Pour me out a blessing.
You won't have
Won't be
room.
room to contain it. Won't even try to explain it.
Why?
But it's gonna be big.
God is about to blow your mind.
God is about to blow my mind.
Hey, and it's gonna be.
Big,
It's gonna be.
big,
It's gonna be big. It's gotta be big.
Hey everyone, I hope you've been enjoying VBS this week. We've been learning some amazing stories, right? God has done some wonderful things, and we have the Bible to tell us all about it. Day 3 is going to be no different. We're going to learn about a very special lady. Bet you can't guess who she is. Her name is Deborah. Are you ready? Do you know anything about her? So, the Bible tells us that Deborah was a very important woman. Guess why? She was very wise. Sometimes in the Bible, God's people didn't have a king or a queen. They had what was considered a judge who would help decide matters in the tribes. Just like a judge that we have in a courtroom now. When people had problems, they would come to the judge and tell them about it, and he or she would help them make a really good decision. So Deborah, we're told in the Bible, would have court right under a palm tree. Whenever something was going on, the people would come and bring their information to her and say, will you help us? We know that the Lord has given you wisdom. Guys, did you know that wisdom comes from the Lord? That sometimes he can lead us and guide us and let us know exactly what to do and how to make a good decision. But that was not the only special thing about Deborah. The Bible also tells us that she was a prophet. Do you know what that is? That's someone who kind of knows what's going to happen. The Lord would often tell Deborah, I'm going to give you some information, and I want you to tell my people about what's going to happen. I told you, she's kind of amazing, right? So the people had been praying. God's people had been praying to him and saying, we are tired of those mean Canaanites. They have been taking all our crops. They've been taking our cattle. We don't have milk or food anymore. We can't use them to help us plow, and they're making it so hard for us. And they prayed and they prayed and they prayed to God, and God heard them. And he sent Deborah, the prophet, the judge, a message. He said, Deborah, please tell the king of my armies, that we are ready to fight those Canaanites. The king of the armies was named Barak. And Barak said, okay, Deborah, I know that you know what the Lord said, but if I'm going to go fight, you're going to have to go with me. And Deborah said, I'll go with you into the fight, but I want you to know that there's actually going to be a woman who kills the mean general Cicero on the other side. Barak said, I'm tired of him destroying our family's cattle and us not having the food and things that we need to eat, so we were getting ready to fight. But he said, they have strong chariots. What are we going to do about that? Every time we try to fight them, they get in their chariots with their fast horses, and then they end up mowing us down. Deborah said, don't worry about that. God is going to help us fight this battle. So Barak got his troops together. And as soon as they got in place for the battle, Deborah was right there with him. Remember, he said he wasn't going to fight without her. The Lord sent down a heavy rain. Guys, what happens when it rains? Yeah, we get a little water falling from the sky, but what happens when it rains a lot? It gets very muddy. Have you ever tried to ride a horse through the mud or drive through the mud? You know it makes it very difficult. So the horses in the chariots that had been once able to mow down God's people, the Israelite people, they weren't able to get to the mud, and the Israelite army was able to defeat the mean Canaanites. God sent the rain just to help him. Remember, Deborah the prophet said, God told me he was going to help us fight this battle. But even when we were getting close to the battle, the mean general got away. Cicero got away. He ran and hid in a lady's tent. But do you remember what I said, that Deborah knew that a woman was going to be the person who ended up killing the mean general? So while the general was hiding out in a tent, the lady made him comfortable. She gave him warm milk, a nice blanket, and told him to hide there. And as soon as he went to sleep, she killed the mean general. Did you know that that was exactly what Deborah, the wise prophet, the judge who had received wisdom from the Lord, don't you remember? That's exactly what he says. Guys, God knows the future. He knows exactly what's going to happen. And that's one of the ways that he takes such good care of us. When we have a problem, all we have to do is pray to him and watch him step in the situation. The same way he sent the rain to help the Israelites beat the Canaanites and not let the chariots mow them down in the mud, it's the same way he continues to help us this day. I hope you've been enjoying VBS. Get ready for your crafts, and we look forward to seeing you guys back in the sanctuary as soon as possible. Have a great week.